Welcome, everybody, to In Before the Lock, episode 31, our first of 2026. I'm Rob, and it's been so long. Is it David?
Yep. Still the same. Still
Davey?
the same name. I don't
Are you
know,
there?
it's been a while.
Are you there?
We've been terribly slack, haven't we? With coming in and doing these podcasts, man. But hey, we're here now. We showed up. That's the main thing.
I was walking the floor, pinball at the beach, and maybe two, but two is a lot. We're like, where you at, man? Where you guys been? So we are back.
That's confirmed. We actually do have two people that listen to the show.
We have two people. No, I mean, it was cool to hear people saying they missed us. Alec was pushing me. He's like, you guys, like you bring a fresh perspective. You guys are in the industry. You're not just talking media. The talking media is great, but we're a little bit of both.
Yeah, so. But not as good as us. Is what you're saying.
No, it's good to be back. I think we're gonna wing it a little bit more, put a little less pressure on ourselves, and you guys will pay the price for that decision. But we're glad to have you. Also, we wanted to do some kind of like mods of 2025 thing. I think we talked about doing our own award show. Since a lot of the award show stuff has been pared down to just games. But Davey's got a long list of mods, man. We're going to go through a bunch of stuff today.
Yeah, it's a long list, which just goes to show how long it's been since we done the show. We're going to try and squeeze it all in too, so we might be going through the mods probably a little bit quicker than usual just to get through everything. But it's good to see such a long and illustrious list of mods for the last year. It's really good to see.
So, Davey, what have you been up to, man? You been staying busy?
Yeah, always, man. We've been just doing production on all of the old mods, really. So theatre's still going. We're probably about 2/3 of the way through that list. Danny's still busy with theatre. We've got a new guy, Simon, on assembly. He's been doing Pinter DMDs and Jurassic Park fences for us, which is really amazing. And we're very soon going to be moving on with the Mimic mod for Dungeons & Dragons as well. And then alongside of all that, we've been doing a lot of design work, predominantly on King Kong. So we've got a new Skull Mountain mod that's just been sort of announced in the last week. And then more on the way for that as well. Couple of mods for the playfield and one topper enhancement as well for King Kong.
Cool. Yeah.
How about you, man? Tell me what you've been doing.
We've been busy. I mean, I last saw you at Expo. We're kind of doing our back catalog too. We took a bunch of orders at Expo. Thank you to everybody who jumped in. We're working through those, and I think we're about 70% through. We've got Lebowski wall art. We're still getting out some pulps, attack, and then we launched our dual deck. In December, we were trying to, get out there before the big dogs, and thank you for everybody who jumped in. I think we're kind of, I don't know, I feel like we're behind on that, so I appreciate everybody's patience, but we also wanted to kind of fine tune some things. Also, like making it work on so many different machines, which was no surprise, like not as easy as we would have liked, and we like to have.
You were getting compatibility with the older Star Wars games.
Yeah,
as well,
so we're making sure it works with all 9 machines. I would say a majority of our orders are across like 4 or 5. Yeah. But we're taking the time to bring those games in house and like really figure out how they fit on there. And then we did end up showing off our Circus topper prototype at Expo. And that's kind of behind in terms of like the timing of getting out there. But, we're also in our 3rd year now. So we're trying to be a little bit more diligent about just like doing things on the right timeline. So everyone's going to get, the toppers you have in order by the end of March, and dual deck as well. And those have been shipping now. So thanks for all the feedback so far.
And your moving premises, can we talk about that?
I sent Davey this like long message with like photos and video, but it wasn't even meant for him. And I was like, oh man, I was like, he was like, dude, it looks awesome. No, we got one new person starting, Michael. He got started recently, and then we've got another guy starting soon, and we're going to be moving into a new facility because we need more space. It's
how many
employees?
How many employees is that then? Man?
Oh man, I mean, all in. Wait, is the tax guy watching?
No,
We
nobody
have
watches that.
one,
Nobody
one
watches.
employee, one employee. No, we have about 7 or 8 people that are involved
Yeah, great,
in a
man.
serious way. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely getting
That's
there.
fine. Yeah,
And then I don't know. We got to get this one off our plate. We had
yeah. This
the
is
the
big
Potter
news.
Topper mod come out. I think I'll share a little video on that. For everybody wondering, Davey and I have been like threatening to do something on Potter, and
Yeah.
ultimately we were saved by I think 2 companies that are doing
Yeah,
some work on
we'll
this
get
now.
to. So this is the first one that got announced relatively recently, I think, maybe the last week or two.
Yeah.
Which is a pin site called Mr. Tantrum, and I think this collaboration, isn't it? You said you spoke to one of them sort of over PM on Pinside, just in relation to just sort of announcing that sort of we'd sort of done a bit of work on this as well. But obviously they'd sort of they've been working quite significantly on doing this, and then have announced the other day this. So what it is an enhancement for the CE topper of Harry Potter, which is always a bit crap. Always looked like a bit of an afterthought. It was kind of just like vac molded plastic with a couple of servo effects and stuff, and nobody was really very happy with it. So it was ripe for an upgrade, and obviously a lot of people noticed that. And this is the first one that's been released. They've done a really good version, really good enhancement. There's a lot of people on the list for it. And then we'll get to just in the last couple of days, somebody else has announced that they've done their own version as well, which looks even more involved and a lot more work. We'll talk about that one later.
Yep.
But what other news is there since we've last?
Man, well, we got it. We got to hit it. We got to hit the DPX news.
Yeah.
We're super bummed to see kind of how that's played out. I mean, I've got a lot of thoughts on it, but I definitely want to give a shout out to Melvin and Barry for, I don't know where those guys are at, but like, I really enjoyed working with them on Alice. And Davey, you've been involved too. I don't know if you've got a chance to talk with Melvin, but I know he's super bummed for sure.
Yeah, no, totally, man. I mean, and private stuff that's going on behind the scenes and stuff, but ultimately it just came down to a business decision, and they just couldn't marry up sort of their competing requirements for that next game. Barry's got some new investors involved. I think that they sort of had some decision making as to what direction that company was going to take, obviously, because they're investing their money, and that just it just wasn't going to be reconciled with the direction that Melbourne was going to take. So yeah, man, I agree. It's a real pity because I love Barry and the team and Renz and Melvin as well, who I've known for even longer. And I know that I've not spoken to Barry directly about it, but I've spoken a fair bit to Melvin, and yeah, man, he's really bummed. But the great news is that Melvin's already got some irons in the fire. It's not the last we're going to be seeing of him or any game that he's been working on in the interim. So yeah, we'll be seeing lots of exciting things from him in the future.
Do we have crow to eat on the Pinside thread? Do you and I do we have apologies to make, or what's going? Are there people blasting us over there? I haven't looked at it in a bit.
No, not that I'm aware of, man. I kind of stepped away from that thread because, particularly the hype thread, because it was just toxic as shit. Wasn't it?
Man, it's. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I believe that everybody who wanted the games can certainly get it now. I mean, I know I'm happy with it. I hope that those have it.
About Beetlejuice, one of the comments he made, and in typical Neil, I mean, he said, and he's certainly not a spooky fanboy, but he loved Evil Dead. He's been very critical of them pre-Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm. People kind of complaining about like, hey, why did they only make 1,000? But I mean, I kind of talked to Luke about that too, and I think they're just trying to grow carefully, right? I mean, he talked about like all the risks involved. There's so many risks involved in like doubling your facility to make, because you really have to have a plan to make all of them in a year. You can't be like 2 years, because then it's like the interest like really dies off. So I think it's
Yeah.
just a big risk, and they're trying to do it smart.
Yeah. I 100% respect that move, and I mean, I would much prefer people to be bitching about not getting one than to have 500 in stock that you can't sell. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that is way
Yeah.
worse from a company PR point of view than having immediate sellouts and having people upset they can't go. Everybody will get one eventually. You know what I mean? Like, like they're not just going to disappear into people's collections, and like all games get sold eventually. If somebody wants a Beetlejuice later on down the track, they'll be able to get one.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, tough situation for them because they're trying to honor their older clients, and there was a big, scalper, or at least perceived scalper issue with it. So it's like, it's not a great situation. What about Pokemon? I didn't get to go to the media day, but
okay, Pokemon, right? Well, you were telling me we were having a bit of a chat about this pre-show, and you said you had an LE lined up before announcement.
Yeah, so I'll get a little video going on this for you guys. Right. Just so you can see it. Yeah, so I had an LE lined up with Jeff at Mad Pinball. I actually saw him at Pinball the Beach, and he had a certain amount, and I was like, am I on your list? And he was like, you were early enough to be there, but I'm going to need to know, as quickly as possible. And I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, but I was excited about the idea of like collecting Pokemon over multiple games because I've never owned one of these like D&D Venom like games that have that kind of carryover stuff. And even with that, I was kind of turned off by like what I would perceive is to be this like junkyard-esque thing right in the middle, and surely the layout seems pretty simple. So sure. I don't know, I'm busy, and I was like just not blown away, so I kind of decided like to pass it on. And I don't know, I'm seeing like Ralph saying he like is starting to just like come around on wanting it. I'm kind of feeling a little bit of a FOMO on passing up on it, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I hope the LE holds its value better than we have in the past because it seems like it's super in demand. But it seems like if I want one, it shouldn't be too tough.
If it does, then it'll be an outlier, won't it? So, and for me personally, the LE, I'll never buy another LE again. I just don't think that they are a good value proposition at all. And I don't get pinball to collect or to make money on them or anything like that. I get them for the fun and I get them to play them. So for me, it's premium all the way, just because I like to have all the features and things. But like you, man, like when I first saw the initial videos and the leaks that came out, a couple of days beforehand, that a lot of people got in some big trouble over. I was, seriously underwhelmed. I didn't think it looked good at all. I think the art's terrible. Obviously, that's they were constrained by that. But and
that was a big thing for me is like I thought the art on the LE was really great. I love purple and yellow for some reason, and like it was like I was like I really want this, but then it was like I don't know, do I really want to spend that premium for that? Ian, what's up? Talking about a fan layout over upper playfield. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna shoot super fun.
It will, and it'll be fun. Like like the whole idea of this game is that it's aiming for the arcades. Like operators have gone bonkers over this for rightly so. They've been waiting for a game that they can chuck in an arcade and just have kids flock to, which they will. So and that isn't going to appeal to pinheads. It's not going to appeal to Pinside because they're not aiming for that. Everyone on Pinside and all the pinheads, we all want to see Beetlejuice type games where just like the games have got everything, including the kitchen sink. And this is not that. It's a simple layout. Everything has been done before. There's nothing sort of innovative about it, but it kind of has to be that way because they're aiming for that operator market. And
so a couple like tidbits, especially like being at Pinball at the Beach. Like I know for sure after talking to a lot of distributors that like this was a hot LE. Like all the LE spots were taken for most people. I know that some distributors have talked about it being, even bigger for them than Harry Potter, which is a little hard to believe, and maybe they're hyping, but the bottom line is it's like it's pretty big if they're saying anything along those lines. And also, like, the more and more I'm talking to folks, it's like I think we on the pin side and the people that watch videos like this, like, don't realize how many new pinball people come in on products like Pokemon. At the end of the day, you might actually see more sales to brand new people on a Pokemon theme than the internal community. So
I think we've all been bitching about how nobody is opening up these new markets to the younger audiences and stuff. And and it's a fear thing as well, right? Like, our hobby's going to die if all we do is cater for the boomer generation with, tired bands that nobody's heard of anymore, and so that this is what they're doing. They're pushing into these new sort of areas. And Pokemon was not my generation. It was my nephew's generation. They're all sort of 20, 25 now. That is the generation of people who, are seriously into Pokemon, or were seriously